Good afternoon, audience. Today I am sick with the flu and my voice doesn't sound as good as it usually would. However, that is debatable. Today I will be telling a story time. In fact, it is a billion-in-one story time about public transport. If you're anything like me and catch public transport, then that can be seen as a positive or a negative. Hopefully a positive. Although I have faced many strange things, strange happenings on public transport that are so bizarre that you wonder how all these things could happen on that fateful day. Unlike trams, which I'm not that familiar with, trains and buses are my main modes of transport to get around. I've been catching the bus or train since the age of 10. Not every ride has been the smoothest. Of course, you have troubles with your tickets, or trouble with the driver who may be rude, who may drive too fast, drive too slow, be pushy, anything. They have a hard job. Now, I can see that customers can be hard to deal with, hence why you may get a frustrated bus driver. This doesn't excuse their rudeness, as they should not take it out on other people who have done nothing to them. Since my friend Emma, shout out to her, wanted me to tell a story time, I thought I would tell multiple and post it this month, which is March of 2018. I don't like the fact that the more I hold off from filming this video, the weirder things happen. I'll touch on those things later. Bus stories that I have to share with the internet are those where I have learned the hard way that you need to hold on to the bar or the pole to not only steady yourself but find balance. Now, this story comes from when I was in primary school. There was this kid, I'll call him Donald. Now, Donald and I were friends on and off. He happened to be a bully also. It was a part-time job of his, I suppose. He liked to keep things in order and enjoyed bossing people around, or even insulting them. For me, he would comment on my appearance, how pale I was, talking about how I should be tanned like everyone else, that I've never heard of tanning. On the bus, I happened to lose my balance and I fell on top of his brother. Just fell on top of him, just sitting on his lap. I got up red-faced, everyone was looking around. I got a few questions like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. But my confidence is slain. A good thing that happened on the bus was whenever I got lost, I happened to find somebody kind enough to help me find my way. This one time I boarded the wrong bus. There were two buses with the same number who parked in similar locations. I was on board the bus with a complete stranger who was kind enough to offer me some grapes to eat as she had gone shopping. I accepted as if not to offend her, and then I began eating grapes, but then I stopped. Together we went back to the shopping mall and caught the correct buses. That was the last time I saw this woman. However, I'm still grateful for what she did because she didn't have to share with me at all. A bad story, on the other hand, not involving me, however I did witness it. A group of boys who were boarding the bus didn't have tickets. So the bus driver closed the doors on one of the boys, which happened to catch his bag in the door. This boy had to ride the bus with his bag jammed outside of the vehicle until they got to the main station, and would not allow any other passengers to help this kid. Did he deserve it? No. Was it dangerous? Yes. Just because someone doesn't have a pass doesn't mean they should be punished in such an extreme way. However, I don't think he learned much of a lesson, even if it did scare him a little bit. Onto trains, as I can't think of any other crazy bus stories right now. Those in recent times. Now, today was very strange for a series of reasons, but I won't get into that. I boarded the train after speaking to an acquaintance of mine. He came down the staircase of the platform to chat with me specifically about school, how things are going, birthdays, things like that, which is really kind. I really like this guy as a friend. With that aside, I've boarded the bus. I smell this horrendous, revolting smell, and it's cigarette smoke. There's a man near the toilets. On board the trains, there are a series of water fountains or toilets so the public can do their business, be comfortable. It is illegal to smoke on public transport, let alone in public areas. That counts hospitals, playgrounds for children, schools, you name it. It is illegal, and highly illegal at that. Penalties apply for those who choose to break the law. This man was smoking in the toilets. On the front of the toilet door, it has a symbol that reads "No smoking." Of course, this guy doesn't care for whatever reason, and is making it more obvious that he's smoking by taking peeks out the door to see if the ticket inspector has realized what he's doing. I did not see the man, if you're wondering, and I do not know if he got caught. However, I am hoping, I am praying that he got caught, because he cannot get away with such a horrendous crime. Of course, there's a lot that could be focused on and that we could be dealing with, but dealing with present and current issues is important too. Yesterday, I was on the train, and the weirdest things happen on carriage 5A and 11A, which are adjacent to each other, and that's just where I happen to board, as it's easier to get off at the platform closest to the exit so I can go under the underpass and walk home. The train happened to skip a vital stop, which had a few customers questioning what happened. They did apologize for the mistake, and thankfully those passengers that missed their stop because of this error could get off at the next stop and board the next train or the bus, whichever suited them. Weeks ago, I had a man standing behind me, and I hear this big sniff, as if he was smelling me. Somebody can take it that he was clearing his nose or just taking a deep breath just because, but I found it disturbing because I'd had a hard day working. I was sweaty. I just doused myself in perfume, so I don't know what he was smelling, if that's what he was doing. But what I heard was this. It was the creepiest thing ever. I just rushed off the train as fast as I could. Excuse the blocked nose also. He didn't have a blocked nose. He did exhale quite strangely. There have been times where the lights on other carriages go off for no apparent reason. And one time a rock was thrown at a window where a pregnant lady and a man were sitting, which didn't shatter the window as such, as the rock did not come into the carriage, but it was lodged into the window. Of course, the company would have to replace the damage and hopefully prosecute whoever did that, because it could have been worse. It could have injured somebody. Other strange things that have happened on the train are meeting people that can be good or bad depending on your perception. These people would also board the same bus and you get to talking because you're on the same platform. One of the people works with children, which means she would have to have a check. Her background would be checked. So I feel fairly safe when I'm with her. People would often judge her for her appearance, as she is quite different. She is short in stature. She has grey hair despite being relatively young. Of course, there are more features, but she's a beautiful person on the inside. There's also a man and a woman. I don't know if they're a couple, however, they're always together. They tend to talk to school children. That sounds creepy, but they're friendly enough. They respect the students' work and their distance. They're not touchy-feely, which is a huge relief. However, there was this one lady who found herself following this one kid. She targeted the younger twin. They weren't actually twins, but they looked alike and they were brothers. This lady would offer to take him home, try to entice him with her assets, tried to get his phone number. This lady was insane, and if you spoke to her about her behavior, she would come right back at you with a whole bunch of insults. She went berserk. She'd be like, "No, I'm not doing anything. Like, what are you talking about? I'm just having a friendly conversation. Just stay out of this. It has nothing to do with you." And you just take a step back and think, what is going through this lady's head right now? I felt so sorry for that kid, but he looks like a lost puppy. Other strange events include boarding the train and seeing a shirtless man with a Dare iced coffee beside him greeting people as they boarded the train. He was friendly, but it was uncomfortable. There was one time as a child I was boarding the train with my brother, and these people were saying there was a snake under the seats and to step over the area, and of course you just play along, not wanting to get bit by the invisible snake. That was my first encounter with the abnormal. At stations you meet a bunch of people of all different backgrounds and personalities. They have character, to say the least. Some are drug affected, some are looking for people to talk with, others are working out on the platform, doing yoga, doing push-ups, sit-ups. Some ride down the stairs on their bikes, others start up fights, and others offer you free music lessons. Just be careful on public transport or on platforms, because you never know who you'll meet or what they'll say. Thanks for watching.